This week I'm taking you behind the scenes as we create something brand new and really special, which is an anxiety toolkit that you can take with you on the go. I'll be showing you some of the design process using an awesome tool I've been getting to grips with, sharing why we've decided to create this product and how it's coming together. And this project is extra special because it's the first product that me and my mum, who has years of experience as a mental health nurse, are creating together. So this toolkit was actually born out of the idea of a completely different product. We were actually talking about bringing affirmation cards to the shop, which is still on our list, but it got us brainstorming different ideas for how a little deck of cards could be a series of practical tools that you could actually take with you on the go because of their portable size. And so the idea is to have a range of things within this toolkit, whether it's information about anxiety and how it affects you so you understand what's going on in your body and in your mind, grounding exercises, some of the affirmation cards we talked about, but also other practical exercises, distraction techniques, all sorts of things that you can draw from and have different things available depending on what you might need at that particular time. And because of its small size, it will be perfect to keep with you on the go and be quite discreet and easy to carry with you. Over the years, we've always come back to the idea of creating practical products for anxiety and for self-care, and I think that's something that's really important to me, that we always have a mix of things that are uplifting and give you those reminders of positivity and self-care in your everyday, but mixed with the practical tools that can really help you when you need it. So whether it's our notepad for challenging negative thoughts that we have, whether it's our pocket hearts that are useful for grounding, they're tactile, or our spinner rings that we've done in the past, which we will be bringing back at some point this year. And we want to keep expanding the range of practical tools we have so that we can meet different needs and they'll appeal to different types of people. And I personally think it's really good to have something tactile that you can hold, that you can reach for in those moments, that have actionable tips for support that will help you at the times you need it most, and I'm hoping that's what this product will be. Now, I've been working hard on the design for this project and I've actually been using Kittle to do that, and Kittle have kindly sponsored this next segment of the video. Kittle is this incredible and super easy to use online graphic design platform. It is packed with resources that make professional design accessible to everyone. You can create stunning visuals for your business without needing any prior design skills. We wanted to create a single design for the back of the cards that could run across multiple products. If we did different versions of these for different purposes, we could perhaps just change the colours or something that could be a common element running through. And I really like this idea that I was thinking about recently of almost like a wavy path. It could be interpreted as like the edge of a cloud and refer to things like thoughts, goals, dreams, but also reminds me of a path and a journey, and I feel like we're all on our own self-care journey and it's really applicable, and also reminds me of the lane in Sunshine Lane. So I wanted to come up with a kind of wavy path design. So from all the wavy elements I found within Kittle, I narrowed it down to these two, and I had to play around with them to see what I liked. And being able to create artboards side by side means that you can have a play around with different versions of the same design and compare them easily to see which one you like the best. I was liking the middle one the best, but I decided to add an outline which I felt added more dimension and interest, and I tend to use similar outlines on a lot of my artwork. I was really liking the middle design the best, but I wanted to be able to alter the curves because I felt like they didn't quite flow as well as I would like them to. They were almost like little notches in each of the curves rather than it flowing like a continuous path. And the amazing thing about Kittle is that it is a graphic design and vector tool combined. So I was able to take this element that I found in Kittle and actually edit it to get it
exactly how I wanted it in a really simple way. So you can see here that each of these dots is called a little node, and when I click those, then I'm able to change the angles of them and use these little toggles to just change how far things pull in each direction. And if you don't have tons of experience in using vector software, this is great because you can start with an element from Kittle's library, which is almost what you want, and then using their vector tools, you can really easily tweak it without needing a lot of skills and experience.
So, if you're feeling inspired to give Kittle a try for your own business, you absolutely can. They have a fantastic free plan that lets you explore loads of their features. And if you decide to upgrade for even more creative power, you can use my code that's on the screen now, Sunshine Lane YT, to get a fantastic 25% off your first month or your first year on any of their paid plans. I think it's an investment that can really elevate your brand visuals. So you can find the link and the code in the description below and go and check it out and see what you can create.
I decided to go for a darker pink and an orange for this design. The orange that we use in Sunshine Lane all the time, and this darker pink we're actually going to be using a lot more. I am going to be tweaking my brand colours slightly moving forward. We did have a lighter pink, a yellow, a blue and the orange, but I was starting to feel like the combination of those types of colours was giving a more childlike feel than I wanted, and so we wanted to pare back the colours and not have so many things going on and just have two key colours and then perhaps some different shades, so it's a bit more reminiscent of almost like a sunrise. So that's what I've gone with for this, is the main colours that we're going to be using moving forward. So with the design somewhat underway, I wanted to talk about the content a bit more, and so I had to bring in my glamorous collaborator, my lovely mum, the most qualified person I know. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people and tell them what you do when you're not working at Sunshine Lane?
Yes, so I'm Allison. I'm Emma's mom, Mama Sunshine, somebody once
Yeah.
called me. And I am a registered mental health nurse. So I've been a mental health nurse for 11 years now. And I was working full time as a mental health nurse, but now I've stepped into Sunshine Lane and work with Emma a couple of days a week, which is lovely. And she's allowed me to collaborate on this product, which is really exciting.
I've let you loose.
Yay!
So yeah, it was your kind of proposal, the toolkit. So do you want to talk about how the idea first came to you about it?
Yeah, so as you said, we were looking at affirmation cards to start
Yeah.
with, and I was thinking, well, is that enough?
Mm.
There are so many other things that we could put in there, and it just grew really because I thought, oh, maybe we just put a little bit of an explanation about anxiety, why we feel it, why it's not always a negative thing, and that sort of thing. But then it just spiraled from there, and I
Yeah.
thought we could be putting so many tools in. And yeah, that's where the idea came from. And then you said, go away and have a think about it and come back.
Yeah, not
and
go
Not
away.
go away. And my mind was just, oh, we could do this and we could do this. And it just expanded.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because using my knowledge as a mental health nurse and working with the patients that I do, over the years, I realised that there's not one size fits all and there's not just one strategy that works for everybody. So I thought it would be great to have a range of
Yeah.
tools in there so that if something doesn't work for you, you've got other options as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought it'd be good to put quite a few different tools
Yeah.
in there.
Which we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
So without giving everything away, do you want to maybe explain something about some of the tools that we're including in there or the techniques and
Yeah.
how you think they'll be useful?
Yeah, so I was looking at different types of techniques. So some of them are physical techniques, so using your body and calming the nervous system down, and others are using the mind as a distraction. So I wanted to look at different things, and I know for me, meditation, I've tried it so many times and it doesn't work for me. It's probably because I've got ADHD and I can't switch the thoughts off. But I was trying to look at not just calming one area of the body, but trying to use tools to focus on different areas of the body,
Yeah.
because anxiety isn't just in here, we feel
Yeah.
it physically. So
Yeah.
I wanted to try and use tools as well that calmed the nervous system as well as calming the brain.
Yeah. And I think that's really good, because also what works for you at one time might not work at another. And
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess it depends what you're anxious about
Yeah.
as to where you feel that in your body.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good point.
Good point, well made. What do you think it's been like working together on this project so far?
Well, I think it's good because you just gave me a free rein to start with to go away. The brief was quite broad.
Or
So,
non-existent?
yeah, so I had to check with you a couple of times where your brain was going with it. But it was nice to go away and have a play with something on my own and then come back together and have a look at it. And then I did my bit, and then it was over to you
Hmm.
to do the design element of it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was nice to utilize both of our skills
Yeah.
separately and come together.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
And I think then each getting each other's input on each other's bit as well is really valuable. And I remember you being nervous to give me the content as if it
Yeah.
had to be 100% perfect
Yeah.
before it went to design stage. And I was like, well, no, because probably going to have to cut the length down. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge you and be like, what's this? Is this your best work?
So I
Get the
tried-
red pen
yeah.
out.
So I tried to do it perfect. 100%. That's the perfectionist side of me. It's got to be 100% straight away. But
Yeah.
you had to, it was the same when I was at uni. Too many words in
Yeah.
my essays and pieces of work. So you had to then say, oh, this won't fit on
Yeah.
a card. And we had to look at it again, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Wasn't too bad. Wasn't
yeah.
too far off.
Mm.
But, and yeah, I think for me, it's interesting thinking about where this actually started. We were at one of the trade shows, and we were just talking about how much there is to try and juggle.
Mm.
And you were saying that you wish there were things you could help on the kind of product creation part of the business just to alleviate some of that. But you were almost saying it in a way of, but I can't help you with that. So yeah, that is difficult, that it's on you.
To take all the pressure
Yeah.
off you. Yeah.
And you said, or is there anything I can do? And then I was like, oh, you want some jobs? I'll give you some jobs.
Yeah.
And then we started thinking about, actually, yeah, how could we better utilize your skills and knowledge instead of me designing something and then getting your input,
Yeah.
collaborating on it from the start.
Yeah.
And that's been a really positive experience, I think.
Yeah, and then it spiraled in my mind because I've now come up with ideas and things that we could do in a series, if
Yeah.
you like. So
Well, full transparency, you came to me with about 20 product ideas. And I was like, I think we just make one.
let's focus on one.
I think I would have loved to have done all 20. I think we've only got time to put together the one right now, and then we'll see how it goes. But with it in mind that we've got other ideas that we
Yeah.
could make it a series, which is really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I think it will be. And so there'll be those tools out there for people with different needs, won't there?
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you think there were any challenges when trying to combine the knowledge side and the content side with the design side?
Yeah, I think so. Thinking about how much I was wanting to get in there, because I didn't just want to do this card covers a certain technique. I wanted
Yeah.
to say how it works, why it works, and it was
Yeah.
just so that if somebody's got that understanding of how it works, then they're more likely to try it. It's more likely to be successful if
Yeah.
you get your head round not just doing the technique, but the theory behind it.
Yeah.
With my knowledge, I was trying to make sure the theory was all there. And yeah, it's just not doable.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't want to be like, well, we haven't got room, so I'm going to cut those justifications out, because
Yeah.
I'm someone who finds it quite useful to know why I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think, well, why am I spending my time on this? Whereas if I know why it's going to help me, how it's going to help me, I'm more inclined to actually do it. So it was a bit of a balancing act. But then I would rather have more
and take away,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
yeah. But I think if we were doing something like an ebook, for example, or like some other sort of
Workbook.
worksheets or
Yeah.
workbook, then it would have been easier in a way. But because we wanted it to be pulsable and almost like playing card size, then I actually printed off the first card with text on and said, this is the size of the text, and I don't think we can go any smaller.
Yeah.
People will have their like magnifying glass on it. And so that then became the standard. But also for me, having to think, well, what's most important in this product is the practical use, and the value you're going to get from it is in that practical use. And so we're going to have to do away with some of my lovely flourishes that I would have loved to have added to make space for the actual content, because
Yeah.
that's what people want it for.
Mm.
And again, if it was a bigger product, you'd have more room, but
Yeah.
it's about condensing it for the type of product it is.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's got a purpose, and you, in this instance, I think it's the first time you've had to hold back on the design side and keep that simple so it doesn't detract
Yeah.
from the actual information that we're providing.
Yeah, because I was thinking to myself, if I was reaching for this toolkit, like I experience anxiety, and if I'm reaching for this toolkit, what I want is not to be distracted from the thing that's going to help. And I want to be able to cut straight to the thing I need. I don't want all this other visual noise. And so whilst the design part of me was feeling like, oh, Emma, this isn't your best work in terms of illustration or things like that, I had to talk myself down and say, no, it's not that type of product necessarily. And it is a good design for the product that it is, because you don't want all that visual noise. You want your eyes to go to the bit that you need to know in that moment.
Yeah, and looking at the card, it needs to be calming.
Yeah.
So the design and the colours and everything, not just what's written on there,
Yeah.
needs to bring that anxiety down, doesn't it?
Yeah, otherwise it's just too overwhelming and you're just going to go, oh, I'm not using this.
Did you find that difficult then, having to keep a check on not doing too many flourishes and things?
Yeah, because I thought that's where my mind would normally go to. And then I just had to think, well, and we have got other products that are more minimal. And I had to say to myself, this is one of the more minimal products design wise because of that reason. You don't want it to be overwhelming. You want to focus on the value and it to be a calming thing to look at and use.
I think you have the thoughts versus facts note that you've used calming colours and you've kept it quite simple, so it doesn't detract from the purpose of the notepad, really, haven't you?
And it's a bestseller.
Yeah. Finalist in Gift of the Year.
Finalist in Gift of the Year Awards. If anyone would like to vote for us to win the People's Choice Awards, as a little plug, I will leave the link in the description below. It's happening, I think the deadline is sometime around now. I'll check. I'll put it on the screen. And yeah, our Thoughts versus Facts notepad, which I'll pop a picture up of now, is all about challenging negative facts. And it's nominated for Gift of the Year, isn't it? A finalist in Gift of the Year in the Health, Wellbeing and Accessible Gifts category, which we're very proud of.
Yeah, like you say, it's really popular. It's one of those products that's a staple. It's one of those staple products that seems to be a permanent item in the shop because it's so popular.
Yeah, we've been selling it for a few years now, and whereas other products might be a hit at first and then numbers go down and we think, oh, should we redesign it or replace it? Or that one's always been quite steady.
Consistent.
And people buy it that because they want a meaningful gift to support somebody on their own self-care journey, and that's what I think I want to do more of, and what this product will also be good for.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
for yourself, but also if you know somebody who's struggling, it's a really thoughtful gift for them to actually help them.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. So yeah, where we're at now is the final design stages really, and choosing a manufacturer, and we're hoping to have it by the trade show we're going to at the beginning of June, but we'll have to see about that because, as always, it's taken longer than we thought it would. But that's why I said let's do one, else we definitely wouldn't have got it done. But I would just like to say a big thank you because I'm hoping we can do loads more things like this, because it's
Yeah.
been really great to work together. And I think, like, when you first started working with me last July, can you believe that?
I
It's going to be
know,
your
be a year
anniversary soon.
soon. Yeah.
I have to do something. We'll bring you along. We always said how it was such a good fit because, like, you were already doing my trade shows and events with me, and you totally get the thoughts behind Sunshine Lane and the importance of self-care and what it's all about because of your personal and work experiences. And so it felt like a really natural thing for you to be the person, and because we work together so well.
Yeah.
But then I feel like this is now like leveling it up. This is like the next natural evolution of us working together, because it's making the most of our skills and experiences rather than just having you here, but whilst you get it, you're not necessarily contributing everything you could contribute. You've got to work you harder.
Pick my brains.
Yeah.
But no, it's been really good. Thank you for letting me loose on,
No, it's okay.
coming up with some ideas. But yeah, when I started working for you last July, I didn't think we would collaborate on a product. So it's been a real exciting time and a real bonus for me, because I enjoy whatever you ask me to do.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it because we're working together, but this has been something different that I think we should be really proud of the end result, really. We're almost there, aren't we?
Yeah, and I think, it's really good having you be still practicing in nursing as well, and have one foot in that world and one foot in this world, because you're just seeing what people are struggling with and what might be useful for them and what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah. Every day is an opportunity to learn in my nursing job.
Yeah.
So there's always, whenever I'm working with somebody, there's always ideas that come from that. And there's always things that you see repeatedly that work with people, and others that only work for a small minority. So yeah, I'm always learning and gaining a lot from the people that I work with as well. Yeah, and I can bring that to Sunshine Lane.
I think we're doing a pretty good job.
Yay.
So if you're interested in finding out more about the Anxiety Toolkit and you want to know how it's coming along, when it's going to be released, make sure you are signed up to my email list, because it's the easiest way to get updates direct to your inbox about what's going on at Sunshine Lane. So I will leave the link to sign up in my description, and I also send out special offers and things, so you will always be in the know and make sure you don't miss anything. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more behind the scenes, and do like the video if you've enjoyed it, because it all really helps push my videos out to people who might like to see it too. And if you've reached this point in the video, maybe comment a tool, like a hammer or a spanner, or there must be some sort of tool emoji in the description to represent the toolkit, and let me know that you've stayed to the end. And let us know in the comments what you think of the idea. It's something a little bit different, and I'd love, love, love to get your feedback on it, because we want to be creating products that people are going to love and they're going to be helpful. I will be back next week for some more behind the scenes of Sunshine Lane, but until then, take care of yourselves, and I will see you then. Bye everyone.